Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Forrest out in St. Louis. Just got off an absolutely awesome team training. One of the cool things I like about showing up, especially when I'm sort of feeling edgy. For those of you that don't know, it just I get for me what being edgy means. Just stuff isn't going fast enough for me, so I get edgy and I get a little bit irritable and the results aren't working out the way they want to, and I need to really sometimes just take a step back and say, okay, where am I going? What am I doing? And a lot of times I just need to do a slight DMO adjustment, that's daily method of operation adjustment, so I can get back in the groove and do that. So we're going to talk about that today, how I'm going to make some adjustments to my daily method of operation. I was going to post them up, and I've been basically doing the same thing every week for a while, and I'm going to switch it up a little bit so I can get out of the routine and force myself. It's always, for me, it's always about building a muscle and pushing myself and not getting complacent with the way I'm doing things. And when I do that, when I take that action, it helps me grow quite a bit. So I'm going to jump into that, and we're going to go over some of those things here real quick. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Forrest Knight. I'm a social media marketing strategist. I love helping people succeed online. I'm on a mission to have no more empty refrigerators, make an extreme impact, and be a legacy creator, and I hope you are too. So, hey, Suzanne, thanks for swinging by. So talking about daily method of operation, or AKA the DMO. Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, Doc Gardner, thanks for swinging by. So one thing that I look at, I was listening to, there was so much good training today. I listened to, I can't remember what her name was, but she was interviewed by Coach Aubrey today, and it was just like, it was crazy cool. The interview was just off the chain. I was like, and of course I was working, so I was trying to listen, do two things at one time. My Mondays are my huge, like, just at work days, and I don't get a lot done on my personal business because I'm basically engulfed in work all day. So I don't. Yeah, Dina, she was absolutely awesome. I'm so glad I plugged in the Rank Makers, and they're getting ready to go to Rank Makers Live. We've got the Rank Makers Live group going on. For those of you that haven't purchased Rank Makers Live ticket yet, if you do that, I talked about that yesterday. I volunteered to do a special live prospecting LinkedIn training for that. So if you don't have your Rank Makers Live ticket, or if you currently have them and you're going to upgrade, I'm going to do a special LinkedIn prospecting training, which is going to be off the chain. It's actually going to be a week from this Thursday, so it's going to be like the Thursday right before Rank Makers Live. I'm going to do that training. It's going to be really cool. So if you don't have a ticket, get it. If you don't have a company event coming up this next week, maybe roll into next year, I recommend you attend. It's very, very low rah and very high like energy business. It might make you make a mind shift. I know it completely changed the way I look at network marketing, and completely changed the way I look at actually business and using network marketing as a vehicle to do that. So just a lot of shifts going on. Absolute cool training tonight from our upline diamond, Mr. Bean, which is absolutely cool. There's so much information. Sometimes I wish I could just like take the chip and plug it in and just rewind it without having to listen to it and be cheating. So let's talk about daily method of operation. So typically what that means, and for me, and I want to explain this, I set big goals. And when I start not to reach those goals, I get edgy. I'm just like, okay, it's not going fast enough. Stuff isn't happening fast enough. I'm getting people watching my presentations, but I want more. So I realized the only way to do that, sometimes I had to take a quick step back, and I took a little a chill break today, and took about 45 minutes, and I just looked at my days. I looked at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I thought about them. I replayed them in my head, and I looked at them and said, okay, where can I make an adjustment to my daily method of operation so I can be more productive, have better results, especially doing quality follow-ups. I find out sometimes I've been doing just like sort of mediocre follow-ups. I want to do a lot more intense, what I call high energy, almost purpose intentional, push people's buttons follow-up type kind of stuff. And that comes from a sales background that I have of pushing people, of getting them to take the next step. And that's something that's learned. It's not, some people might do it automatically. I don't know if anybody's like born with that talent. It takes practice and skill to be able to push people to a close without going too far. I'm a hard closer. When I go hard close, people know I'm coming, because my forehead lights up with, I'm getting ready to sell you something, and they see it coming, and sometimes it freaks them out. So sometimes I have to come a little bit softer in my closing so people don't freak out and run and go hide from me. So Said all that to say this. So daily method of operation, what I've been doing is I'm simply going to change. And why would I change it? So how do you go about changing your daily method of operation if you're not getting the results you want? One is the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you have to track what you've been doing, right? You need to have some type of schedule. Now I use all kinds of crazy stuff. I have a 90-day journal that I just put my results in every day. How many people I reached out to, how many people, I just write it in that. That's my it's a mental attachment thing. Writing stuff down has a different attachment than typing in a spreadsheet. I take that exact, I said exact, same information, I put it on a Google Doc spreadsheet. How many people I prospected, how many people I reached out to, or that's prospected, how many people I asked, how many follow-ups I did, how many presentations that were said, how many no's, and I put that all on the spreadsheet and I track that each day. And I also, before that, at the beginning of the month today, which would be Monday, is I set up my week and how many people I'm going to prospect. And this last week, I didn't get anywhere near the numbers I wanted to, which is not a big deal because there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't freak out when life happens, right? I just do it. So I set up the goal and said, I'll reach out to this many people. If they don't reach out to them, I reach out to somebody. I never let it slack, but I don't freak out like, man, I set a goal, I was going to reach out to 120 people a day. And I didn't, I only reached out to 80, right? So I don't freak out about that. I just adjust and keep going. So, I mean, most people aren't reaching out to 500 people. I had 588 people this last week. Most people are like, what? Most people aren't reaching out to 588 people in a year. And, our accountability team, we're doing, 1,000 plus. I'm doing 580. I'm like, oh man, I'm not showing up. But again, that's me self-sabotaging myself because that's still 588 people that have a message of hope in their inbox. So the positive part of that is I reached out to 588 people. The part that I wanted to reach out to 1,300 people, right? Because I know the more people I reach out to, the faster I can make an impact, and the faster I can make an impact, the faster I can create change, right? And as a result, there's going to be somebody out there that's a lot cooler, smarter, better looking than me that's going to go out and impact a lot more people than I can a lot faster because maybe they have a better influence than I do, right? So that's, I'm looking. I don't know who that person is. I don't know where that person is, but if I keep knocking on their door, boom, they're going to fire off and go, so that's who I'm in the hunt for. So I needed to change my hunting strategies. And I talk a lot about fishing. I'm not a hunter or a fisherman. I just use those as analogies of where to fish. So I've gotten really good at knowing where to fish to get the fish that I need in my deal. So I'm constantly, bringing on customers. So I got really good at that. So thank you very much, Suzanne. So I've been tweaking the week 2. Yeah, I'm going for the timer approach this next month. So that's what Doc Gardner said. She's going for the timer approach this next month. So what the timer approach is basically what that is setting a timer and taking everything out. And I talked about this. I think I trained this in a group. I don't know if I did this, but there's a couple of things that you need to do to get set. I'll just change my topic here real quick. Thanks, Doc. So when you're getting ready to prospect, and I want to share this now because it's in my head. When you're getting ready to prospect, there's a couple of things you need to do. One is you need to prep. You need to be prepared. You can't just go out there. You've got to find where you're going to go fishing. You need to get your stuff to go fishing. And I teach prospecting on pages. LinkedIn's pretty much the same. You go find where you're going to prospect. You open up your page. You open up your post. You find all the people. You got your script ready to go to copy paste, and you go to work. And then you knock on their doors and you put a message in, tell them that you sent it, and you get them to go look at the messages. There's a system in that, right? And you do that. So you prep to be able to do that. So in a timer, if you're going to run a timer, you need to have all that pre-prep stuff ready. Also in a timer, when you're running a timer, and I'm pretty sure Doc Gardner does this too, is that you have no distractions. You turn off everything. You lock the kids in the basement, the attic, Velcro them to the dog, whatever, and send the dog for a walk, whatever, right? So you set them up and you run your timer and you have your script, you have your page, you've got all your people ready, and you tab, prospect, and you let that timer run. You do not answer the phone. You don't pass go. You don't go to the bathroom. You don't drink you might drink a swig of coffee. You keep going. If somebody responds back to you, just let it hang. Now, here's one thing that I started doing, because a lot of times somebody will respond back, I'll lose them. So what I'll do is I take a quick pause. I grab that person's profile and I'll drag it over to my other screen, and I put it on a Google Doc spreadsheet. It's called my active prospecting sheet. Yeah, it's there. I do everything. And I learned this because what happens in 45 minutes, if you get really fast, like I know Doc Gardner is, she's going to probably hit close to 100 people. And it would suck. She'd have to go back and scroll through those trying to find that person that responded back. So just take a quick pause. You grab that link, that person, their profile where they responded. You put it in a Google Doc spreadsheet and you let it hang over on the side. You don't respond to, you just bam, copy, paste, boom, and get right back to sending the message. Send the message. Another one pops up, boom, and do the same thing. Move it over there, set it up, and you keep moving. If I totally freaked you out, that's absolutely okay. Maybe we'll do some training on that later in the week on exactly how that works. But in terms of being able to share that, you just got to really think. So you can do the timer deal. So you're going through your timer. You set your timer for 45 minutes or whatever your time is, and you don't let anything distract you. Phone rings, don't answer it. Get a message in, don't respond to it. If you see something cool fly by, don't do a scroll, just let it go. If it's a political post that got on your nerves, don't respond to it. Just keep moving, stay in the prospect. And if your little sidebar pops in there, don't say anything, just keep moving, right? Just keep doing that, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. And when your timer goes off, boom, you're done. You've prospected. Now, for the people that responded back, you then go reply to them and you ask, blah, blah, blah. And they say, yeah, they want to look at it. And you go through the set up the appointment to look at your presentation, and you set the follow-up and you go into follow-up mode, right? So did a quick training there. Thanks, Doc Gardner. I really appreciate that. So coming back to changing your daily method of operation. So Doc Gardner and I are in the same accountability group, and she has a personality when it comes to business building. It's very similar to mine. Matter of fact, the other 4 people in the group do as well. We're all like, Bobby's really chilled. He's the chill guy. And Kendra, she's like the country gal. And Doc Gardner, of course, is like, I'm the doc, and I'm like the wild and crazy guy. And it's fun, but we're all on the same mission, right? We're just boom, 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 putting message of hope out there, and we're all A personality drivers. So when stuff isn't moving fast enough for us, we get like impatient and like, okay, let's go. And we have a huge heart. So we have the heart side of us wanting to know that we want to make an impact because we want to make change. We want to make a big impact because there's just so much crap going on the planet right now, right? So adjusting your daily method of operation, one is you have to track what you do. You have to know what you're doing before you can make adjustments. You can't just simply reach out to 10 people and say, this sucks, it's not working. That's not how you adjust your DMO. You set up your day. When you get up, people ask me, I always see these posts, what are the first things you do when you get up? I get up, I pray, I pee, and I make coffee. That's my first 3 things. That's somewhere in that order. Somewhere in there, I'll throw in a shower and get dressed. But basically, that's what I do, sort of my first thing in the morning when I get up. And I know that's my deal. It's just the way I operate, right? I got to make me a cup of coffee. And even if I don't drink it off this cup right here, I'm not drinking it now, just a little warning. This is from this morning. So I drank it I made it and drank like 2 sips and set it down over here. I probably need to go make a fresh cup if I'm going to drink more tonight. Well, it's 11:42 or 10:42. I probably won't. I'll probably get some water. Yes, I actually said that. I don't know how long it's going to last, but we'll see. So you need to measure what you're doing, and you need to do that over time. You got to have some type of time span in there. You need to sit down your day, and when you get up, you got to put diapers on the kids, you give them a bath, kick the dog, whatever your routine is. That's your routine. And somewhere in your daily regular life routine, you've got to squeeze in some time for your building your side hustle. You've got to block off your time. Maybe you cancel Netflix or something like that, or whatever it is. You set up your blocks of time so you go out and you can prospect. And when you start doing that, you can see how that's going to work, and you can start building muscles. One of the things I talked about prospecting training is to do a 7-day run, and you say you're working out to 30 days and you do the 20% build. You add 20% more prospects, 20% more asks every day for a week to see how far you can stretch yourself. And when you start to stretch yourself, you can look for holes and where you can adjust your daily method of operation. That's actually number 2. So you need to be able to stretch yourself to be able to look for adjustments in your daily method of operation. Here's number 3, right? And this one is very, 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 very important. And sometimes it's very hard for us A-driven personality types, is you have to have patience. Yeah, I said it. You have to have patience. You have to give the work you're doing time enough to work. Think about it as I'm using a farming analogy. Planting corn, you got to give it time enough to grow, right? You've got to give it time enough to germinate and do all that kind of stuff, and water it and do all that kind of stuff. So you have the time enough for your system to work. whatever your daily method of operation is, and you're tracking it and you're looking at, then you can step back and say, okay, I've been doing this for 90 days, right? I've been doing this for 90 days and I got X results. So now that you're doing it, now you can look at this and say, okay, I did this and this and this over the 90-day period and I got these results. Whatever those results are, right? You don't say, I only got this. You got results. You took action and you got some type of result. So now you know that result. You can look at this, and the more you do it, the better your skill set's going to get, right? And when I first started in sales, although I had the 10 steps to the sale down, I wasn't a good closer. And it took a while to get to that point where I could just automatically, it was almost like Kung Fu. I saw the words coming out of their mouth and I knew exactly what to say to turn it around on them almost instantly, right? So being able to do that, you understand it. So now that you've tracked, you've measured, you've looked at your muscles, so you understand what you can actually do in your day, and you've got to do it over time. You've got to do it at least 90 days. You've got to commit to it for at least 90 days, or this isn't going to work at all. So you set all that up, you work on it for 90 days, say, okay, I'm going to do this for 90 days. And at the end of 90 days, you can look back and see what your results are. Now you can come in if you want to. There's no requirements to. Maybe you like what you did. Maybe you're feeling good. Do it for another 90 days, right? Whatever. Look at your 90 days and say, okay, maybe your A drive, you're like, man, the results aren't getting there. So now it's time for an adjustment. So I'm doing a DMO adjustment. I've got quite a few coaching clients. I've got quite a few more of them coming on board over the time now. So now I've got to figure out where to put those people in holes. And now I've got to move my personal business time out farther around the edges. So I'll probably be doing prospecting later in the evening. I'm most likely going to get up about an hour earlier in the morning and go to work and knock out a bunch of stuff before I head out, because in the evening time, I'm spent. My brain is fried. Right after I'm done with this live, I'm vegging out. I'm going to go watch a movie with my wife and I'm done, because it's been a crazy long day. And it's very, 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 very important. Hey, I'm Mario. Thanks for swinging by. That dude is like the Vibe Ride Champs. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, I got my hat on and my shirt too. And so it's very, very important that you understand that you need to take a break, right? So it's very important that you take care of yourself. You have self-care, whatever that self-care looks like, whether it's, a big, oh man, I got some ice cream downstairs. I think I'm gonna do ice cream and a movie and chill. So you just need to take a brain break. It's just like going to the gym. You cannot be in the gym all day. You go to the gym, you work out for a couple of hours, take a shower, you go rehydrate, you go eat the right kind of food, and then you come back the next day. You don't do it all, like you don't just go to the gym and stay there until your muscles get really big or you'd fall apart. So you got to think like that as building your business. You've got to build it up. You've got to take care of yourself. You've got to do some mindset training. Every single morning I'm up and I'm getting some type of, I'm getting doubles. I get a motivational training from motivational training, inspirational training for my business side, and then I get a mindset motivational training from rank maker side and Ray, and I do that every single day, just feeding and pouring in and pouring in and pouring in. It helps the adjustment. So very, very important that you do that. So those are the three primary things that you want to do if you're going to adjust a DMO. You've got to have one first. You've got to put one in place first before you start at all, before you can make adjustments. If you're feeling like you've been doing prospecting, you're not getting any results, if you haven't been tracking what you're doing, there's no way for you to make an adjustment other than just go, you know what, I'm just going to start from zero. And I'll take that back a little bit. You can start from zero and say, you know what, I'm going to make a commitment. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to write it down every day. I'm going to track it. So you can actually start from right now and start tracking everything you do. You have to track and measure. You have to track and measure. If you don't, you're setting yourself up for failure, because you have no way to look back a year from now. You have no way to be a leader and say, I know you're just getting started. Here's the scripts that I use. Here's the 4-step system that I use. This is what I did. This is how I set up my day. Your day may be different because you have a different life than I do, but here's how I worked it. And as a result of doing this daily for the last 12 months, I was able to get these results. You can share that with somebody because it's trackable somewhere. You can say, look at my spreadsheet. I can look at this and say, I started here, I got here, I moved here, I did this, I made this adjustment, I moved here, and this happened. And that's a story, right? That's a story that you can tell somebody that's inspirational. They can look at this. I can go back to January and say, in January, I made a decision that I was going to reach out. And that's where this whole thing started. I was going to reach out to 1,800 people because I'd never reached out to that many. I just said I was going to do it. So I sat down and I did my little math. How many people I need to reach out today? And I ended up reaching out to 1,572 people. Didn't quite reach my goal. couple of things happened as a result of that. One is I had a follow-up freaking snowball that was just cray-cray. So I missed a lot of people, fell through the cracks. They're probably still lost somewhere out in the matrix, floating around in the afterworld of the internet. And I know I missed some follow-ups because I never prospected that many people before, and I wasn't expecting to, and I didn't plan well enough for the follow-up. So the cool thing about that was it built a muscle, right? I learned I need to, next time I do a personal follow-up challenge, I need to do that. I need to have a follow-up plan in place where I can contact these people and make it work. So just wanted to say that, really appreciate you. You got to track what you do if you're going to have any kind of success. So I'd say this: get your tickets to Rank Makers Live, make a plan, set up your day for success. If you would like, and I throw this out there, I've got a tracking sheet that I track follow-ups on. If you like it, it's a Google Docs spreadsheet. Please, if you're not going to use it, don't ask for it. If you're planning on using it, it comes along with a cool little training YouTube video link that I put into it for you. You can use it. You can go in and track it. If you do download it, you've got to like save it and then change the name. And there's just trust me on that. You just got to download it, save it, and save it. You got to be Google Docs, and you're going to need a Gmail address to use it. And I'll definitely get that over to you. Just shoot me a private message, and I'll hook you up with that. It's a really cool tracking system if you're sort of into the Google Docs freaking stuff, into the Google Docs tracking system stuff. It's very, very important that you use that. So I love you. Jesus loves you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I'm going to go eat an ice cream bar and watch a movie. I'm on a mission to have no more empty refrigerators, make an extreme impact, and be a legacy creator. I hope you are too. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.